Conflict in the workplace. Why can't we just all get along? We all know that conflict occurs, but we also want to know, why can't everyone just be nice and agree with one another? Because it's just not true in the interaction that we have with other people. People disagree. There's other genders, ethnicities. People just have different ways of thinking. When it comes down to it, we're not on the Truman Show. We're not all about loving one another and making a perfect world. It's unfortunate, but that is the way it needs to be or is in the world. Conflict in the workplace is going to happen. In our career, we will end up facing it one day. But the good news is, it's not unnatural. It's a natural occurrence. Natural and normal part of human interaction is conflict. Conflict happens. When you get a group of people together, they're not going to necessarily agree on the same thing. But the key to conflict is turning it around to be something positive, something that can come out of it. Conflict does not have to have a negative ending. It doesn't have to have a negative effect on your group. It can actually be handled correctly. You can actually strengthen your understanding of each other, strengthen your group cohesion. You can understand other people's perspectives, and your interpersonal relationships can improve because of it. It's a very important factor in today's world, in the business world. Let's go back to that slide one more time. Let's talk a little bit more about conflict and what it can mean to you in your life. The most valuable aspect of conflict is that the energy that it generates. It gets people to move, people to think. It gets people to want to know what others need and want. Effective conflict resolution can make the difference between positive and negative outcomes. It's important to realize how much conflict can improve your group and give you better communication. It's important to realize that it's not about arguing with one another and who is right. It's about what each other can get out of the situation and what can be improved on. In our group presentation, we want to touch on parts of workplace conflict that can give you a better understanding of what it is, how you can approach it, how our behavior affects it, and how we can get a better resolution from it. Are you ready to familiarize yourself with the subject of conflict in the workplace? Well, we have a group of people that have come together. Our first subject would be defining conflict and its role in the workplace. What does conflict do to us in the workplace? What's its purpose? This will be presented by Kenna Jones. The environment's effect on the conflict in the workplace. What does our environment do to us? What kind of structure does our office need to be in order to not have conflict? Richard Powell will be able to touch bases on this subject. 5 styles of conflict. Believe it or not, there's actually 5 different ways to have conflict. You would think one would be enough, but there is 5. Now Rachel Wade will be explaining this to us. Approaching conflict. Our behavior matters. It matters how we approach it. If we approach it negatively, we're going to get a negative reaction, or not reaction, but a negative result. We're not going to get positivity out of it. The energy that we create is going to be so negative that it might even break apart the group. But Mark Killigore is going to let us know how we should approach conflict. Conflict resolution. Perhaps one of the most important things to realize about conflict in the workplace is how to resolve it and what steps can be taken to resolve it. If you want positivity and growth in your company, you need to be able to have conflict resolution in a positive manner. This will be presented by Brandy Kirkpatrick. Causes of conflict in the workplace. We all think it's just disagreement, but sometimes it could be something different. Someone said something that hurt someone's feelings, someone heard something down the grapevine. There's other reasons why conflict happens in the workplace. Katie Ulrich will be able to let us know a little bit about that. Here's the references for this particular part of the presentation.